Hi, my name is Mia. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to part 3 of my Iceland video series. Today's video is going to be all about things I wish I had known before hiking the Laugavegur trail. And if you haven't checked out my previous 2 videos, I'd highly recommend you do that because this will go hand in hand with my first video, which was my packing list. That one I filmed before going to Iceland, and in this video I'm kind of going to go over a few gear items that I wish I had brought and other things that I wish I had known about the trail before going to Iceland. So without further ado, let's get right into it. First item of gear that I wish I had brought is sunscreen. Now, before going to Iceland, I kept checking the weather report and it kept saying nothing but rain, rain, rain every day. And we were super lucky with the weather, so on our second day, we actually ended up getting sunburned. And that was very painful, so I wish I would have just brought some sunscreen. Second item would be trekking poles. Trekking poles would have been super essential on this trip. The trail was super steep on the first day, so we went all the way up the steep mountain and all the way down again. And especially on the downhill, I wish I had something to hold on to, because there were parts where we were basically like crawling down the mountain. There was like lots of gravel, lots of like loose sand, and we kept sliding. And yeah, please bring trekking poles. Every other person on the trail had some, and there's a good reason for it. The other thing that kind of goes hand in hand with that is I wish I would have brought some sort of micro spike, which you could just attach to the bottom of your shoe for some extra traction. For the snow, we have encountered so much snow, which I wish I would have known about. There were parts where we walked through snowfields for like an hour at a time, and it was icy, it was slippery, it was just kind of frustrating and annoying to not really have good grip. So even though our shoes of course had traction, I wish I would have had some extra by bringing some sort of micro spikes. Next thing that I wish I had was gaiters. Just like some trail running gaiters that go just above your shoe. Those would have been nice because we did get lots of like sand and little tiny rocks into our shoes, which made us have to stop every once in a while to empty them. So just to keep the flow of hiking going, I wish I had brought some sort of gaiters. Next item that I wish I had was a bug net. That wasn't so much an issue on the first day of the trail, but on the second day for sure, and even more while we were driving through Iceland, because there were tons of tiny flies and it was super annoying. You couldn't really breathe, otherwise you would like breathe in 5 flies at a time. And lastly, I wish I would have brought another t-shirt, because if you watch my packing list video, which I have linked for you down below, you would know that I said that this shirt was gonna be only for sleeping, and well, it ended up being my main hiking shirt, because I brought this t-shirt as a hiking shirt, which I wore all the time, but it was too cold to just wear by itself under the rain jacket, and when I paired it with my down puffy jacket, it was too warm. So I basically ended up wearing this the whole day, and it would have just been nice to bring an extra t-shirt exactly like this to sleep in. On to the things that I loved having, besides like the main gear items. These are things that I wouldn't have wanted to do without, that I would definitely recommend you bring, and that I would definitely bring next time as well. Starting with this tiny backpack. It's just a 10-liter backpack. It kind of stuffs into its own little pocket, and it basically did exactly what I said it would in my packing list video. So this was great to have on the flight, since we checked our backpacks. It was great on like the rest of the road trip, because we basically just left our backpacks in the car the whole time, and if we had like mini hikes, we just took this one. Amazing to have. It barely weighs anything, doesn't take up any room. Would definitely recommend you bring one of these too. Next thing, which was actually first for me, I was super happy about bringing these waterproof socks. That was mainly for, again, the first day in the snow, because they really kept me dry and therefore warm. Now you won't need waterproof socks if you already have like proper waterproof hiking boots, but since I wear trail runners, these kind of were a great solution for that, and I would definitely bring those on that type of trail again. Next was these hot lips. This little orange piece, it attaches right up on here on the cook pot. It was so nice to have because we did have some pretty chilly moments on trail. Warm up with some tea to be able to, you know, drink the rest of the water soupy part of ramen. And yeah, also on our last day while waiting on the bus, got really cold, so it was nice to be able to drink hot liquids without burning your lips. So I would definitely bring that again. Next item would be ginger pills. I brought a handful of ginger pills with me. Of course, I didn't bring this whole big thing. I was very happy to have that because, let me tell you, the bus ride to and from the trail is crazy. So, of course, I expected to do some off-roading to get to the trail, but my god, was the bus shaky and bumpy and very nauseating, and the ginger pills definitely kept my tummy happy. Last item that is probably my favorite item of gear ever, super small, is a buff. Now, if you don't know what a buff is yet, it's basically like the most versatile item that you can find for hiking. You can wear it around your neck as a scarf, you can wear it around your head as a headband, which is what I did most of the time, so you don't need to carry like a beanie. In the summertime, Iceland never really gets dark. It was amazing to block out all the light when I was ready to go to sleep, so I was just wearing this as an eye mask for sleeping. If there's one thing that you take away from this video that you didn't know before, please do yourself the favor, get yourself a buff. You will not regret it. It always comes in handy. Now on to the things I wish I would have known about the trail beforehand. So the first thing, which maybe was due to my lack of research, but I found out about it like halfway into the first day of hiking, and that is that it's actually super doable to do this trail in just 2 days. Now, because we didn't have the most time available off work, yeah, we plan on doing the hike in 3 days instead of 4, because that's kind of what you hear, and all the research I did, everyone always says 3 to 4 days, so we decided to do it in 3 days, just so we have some more time to explore the rest of the country. And yeah, halfway through the first day, we met a lot of people who were saying they were going to do it in 2 days. And as we got further down the trail, we noticed that that is actually a pretty smart idea. And we could have easily done it in 2 days. Now, the reason we did it in 3 though was because we absolutely loved this trail. It was the most beautiful trail we've ever done, and we just weren't ready to finish it that fast. On our second day, we actually got to camp at like 1 p.m. already, so we would have had plenty of time to keep on hiking, but we chose to stay just to, yeah, be on this beautiful trail for a little longer. The last 2 days are basically just flat with a few ups and downs, so it was a super chill time hiking. Once you're done with the first part, up and all the way down the mountain, it's basically just smooth sailing, super nice. So yeah, I just kind of wish I would have found out about the possibility of doing it in 2 days easily beforehand, just so we could have kind of planned our trip a little better. Maybe yeah, had some more time to do the rest of Iceland. If you're on a tight schedule, then you might just consider doing it in 2 days. Next thing I wish I had known, which I kind of already touched on, is all the snow and the water crossings. So we did not anticipate that much snow. Again, if I had known about the snow beforehand, I could have packed better gear. So now you know. There's lots of snow patches, even in the summer. And I wish I would have been more prepared for the water crossings. So of course I've seen it on the map, I've heard people talk about water crossings, but no one really pointed out, at least from what I looked at, no one really pointed out just how crazy those water crossings actually get. The rivers are just, you know, water from the melted glaciers, so as you can imagine, it's freezing cold. But not only that, the current's super strong, and the water in some rivers goes really high. So we had like several instances where the water went up to our knee or a little above it, and then the last river crossing was actually almost up to our hips. So we had to take off our pants to cross that river. And the current is so strong that you almost get swept away, and you can't really see the bottom of the rivers, so it's kind of like guessing, and you kind of have to be careful where you place your step because there's like loose rocks on the riverbed, and I just wish I could have mentally prepared for that before starting on that hike. And also related to the terrain of the hike is that I wish someone would have like said definitively like hike it from north to south, which is what we ended up doing, which is what most people do. But the reason why I definitely urge you to do the same is because of these steep inclines and declines. So on the first day we had some parts of the trail that were so scary steep up icy snow patches that I just have no idea how on earth I would have done that downhill. What we ended up doing is of course stepping in other people's footsteps that were walking before us. Because it was so steep, the footprints were kind of angled upwards, and like I said, it was really icy, very slippery, especially without trekking poles. So again, please bring trekking poles. But yeah, I just have no idea how on earth we would have done it the opposite way. Going down these sketchy, steep snow patches, you don't get any grip if it's angled downward. If you bring the right gear, if you bring microspikes, if you bring trekking poles, then I guess you could do it from south to north, but I definitely would recommend to do north to south. Next one on my list is the showers. So I was really surprised by the campsites on the trail. They were very well maintained. They had very nice like bathroom and shower facilities for being in such a remote area. First of all, I didn't even know they had showers, but they do, so now you know. And second, you need to pay for hot showers. So when I went to the front desk, I asked if it cost any money to take a shower. And they said yes, to take a hot shower it's around like $5, $4.50, $5. And so I asked, okay, well, because I wanted to save money, I was like, okay, so what about a cold shower? She was like, that's free, go ahead. And she was kind of laughing already, almost, which I now understand why, because cold showers are showers with ice cold glacier water. So by the time I figured that out, it was already too late for me. I was already standing under the shower, freezing, just trying to get out of there as fast as possible. But if you do want to take a shower while hiking, splurge the extra $4.50, $5 to not freeze. Luckily I showered on a very hot day, so it wasn't the biggest deal. I was warming up pretty quickly afterwards, but especially if it's like a rainy, cold, foggy, cloudy day, pay the extra money for a hot shower. Or I mean, if you're comfortable with waiting, then just wait until you're back at the campsite in Reykjavik. Next thing is bus related. I wish someone had told me how bumpy that bus ride is actually gonna be, just so I could prepare myself for it. And also, I wish someone would have like gave me a hint as to put the rain cover on my backpack throughout the bus ride. Because, you know, the backpacks, they get stored underneath the bus and you go through like rivers and stuff and through very dusty roads, so water was coming in, dust was coming in, and by the time we got to the trailhead, our backpacks looked just absolutely dirty, which of course is to be expected when you're out in nature hiking, but there didn't need to be that much dirt to begin with. So I wish I would have just protected my backpack a little better by putting the rain cover on while having it on the bus. And also for the bus, I wish I would have known just how easy and chill the last 2 days of hiking were gonna be, because I wanted to be safe and I booked us tickets for the 8 p.m. bus instead of the 3:30 one. So, well, we ended up getting to Prasmak at around 12:30 already. So we had more than enough time to catch the 3:30 bus. It was very cold the day that we got to Prasmak, so we were sitting there bundled up in all of our clothes, rain gear, sleeping bag. We were drinking like tea, ate the rest of our food to stay warm, and luckily they had plenty of room for us on the 3:30 bus, otherwise we would have had to sit for another few hours in the cold. Also, if you do get on the 8 p.m. bus, you're not going to get back to Reykjavik until like midnight or well past midnight. So yeah, that's also something to consider. We were happy we got on the 3:30 bus after all. Yeah, just for planning purposes, maybe that's good to know. And that's everything I have for you. That's all the things I wish I had brought, things I wish I had known beforehand. If you found this helpful, make sure to click the like button, and for future travel and hiking videos, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Bye!